Hola mi gente, Jonathan con Algo Personal. Aquí estamos en otro episodio del podcast. Aquí andamos con un invitado bien especial. Tengo mi amigo, alguien que es un entrepreneur, le echa ganas aquí en la vida, anda en el music industry. Make sure you guys watch out with him because he's making big moves. Aquí ando con mi compa.
Flako oficial, a la orden.
Aquí está mi compa Flako. Man, dime carnal, what have you been up to, bro? I see you out here making moves. You out here managing artists. I see them with dope records. So tell me, what is it that you do so people can know?
Well, I manage artists and I'm a songwriter. And I got the opportunity to be Los del Cristo personal assistant. That's actually how I started. I started a couple years with them as personal assistant, but I still had my artists. I've been managing my artists since they were in 10th grade. So while I was doing that, management and everything, I was assisting Los del Cristo. And then I put that on like pause. And yeah, I would just keep Los del Cristo, started going on tour, until I got a bunch of offers from like big labels. And then I went with the one that fit and was able to negotiate. I just took off with it. Signed my first artist with the records. Then I signed my second artist with the records. And then I got my third artist with the records. So my first artist is Nuevo Illuxion, second WhataEdgar, and my third is a brand Luna.
That's dope, man. I
Yeah,
see you.
man.
That
So
you got three on the roster with dope records, huh?
yeah, three in the roster, bro.
Yeah. So what it is? What's the behind the scene? Like kind of your day to day on working with these artists, pumping them up, managing them, and doing the whole tour with Los de Cristo.
It's actually pretty simple. And it's not too hard like people say, like it's stressful or whatever, because I enjoy what I do. I don't see it as a job. The process is what I do is I just listen to music all the time. I get a bunch of DMs from a bunch of artists. Listen. And if I see like potential in an artist or like something I could do with them, I explain to them what I do and where I could take them. And then I send them my agreement. I tell them straight up, I'm like, read the agreement. If you like it, sign it. If you don't like it, I'll still help you out. You know, thank God everybody has been
Nice.
signing it, but I don't want to overbook myself, because overbook, I have four.
Mhm.
So it's a little,
So let's say myself that I have talent, le echo ganas. I send you one of my audios, you like it, and I agree to your agreement. It's like, you know what, this works for me. I want to do
yeah.
it.
So after you like my agreement, you like it, you sign it, whatever. Me as being a manager, I know pretty much a lot of labels. So for me, it's pretty easier. And for like the upcoming artist, it's hard. So I just get the artist, get his material, 5 to 6 songs, and I just go to the label, send them the music. I'd rather do it in person because if you send it through text or WhatsApp or emails, they don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
So you just got to go in person, talk to them. And yeah, if they like it, they set up a meeting with you and you negotiate a contract for them.
Nice. So now that I signed your agreement, and you got me a label, and I'm working. Like, how does that work? Like from producing their song and making it to where it needs to be, so that way it's worth their while and worth
So
their time.
so how I started with my first artist, I've had him since 10th grade. And it's crazy how the whole thing started with them. They're actually my little brother's friends. And one day I got out of work and they were just jamming in the backyard. And I'm like, hey, these kids are pretty good. And I kept hearing he kept pure Eneditas. And I'm like, God dang, like how many goddamn Eneditas he has? And I told him, I'm like, hey, how many Eneditas you have? He's like, oh, I have over 150. I'm like, how old are you? He's like, oh, I'm barely in 10th grade. And I'm like, oh shoot. And then like light bulbs, it turned on and I'm like, hey shit, like I don't know anything about management at right now at the moment, but hey, I could get you signed anywhere. Trust me. I have a lot of faith, I'm a big believer in faith. And he was like, one of my dreams is to get signed by Del Records. The second of my dreams is to get a song with my idol, Tercer Elemento, and a bunch of other stuff, right? And I was like, hey, just, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but just trust me and have faith. I'm going to do everything. And yeah, like a couple years later, I did the agreement, because everything at the beginning, no agreements, no nothing. And then like a couple years later, I got my agreement more professional, sent it to him. He liked it and had a bunch of offers from him and all his dreams that he wanted.
Yeah.
I could probably say that I did it for him. Got assigned to Dell, Ganamos dueto with Tercer Elemento. It's a bunch of stuff, that it's his dream and I was able to do it. So I could proudly say that I did his dreams and everything, because
Yeah.
it's hard, man. It's super, super hard. I come from I'm not embarrassed to say I come from a poor family.
Yeah.
So a lot of people look at you like, oh, who's this? Who's this guy? He thinks he's cool or he thinks he's above this person or whatever you want to call it. But you just gotta grind, you gotta grind, look, look, look. If 10 doors closed, 20 open. So ignore all the negative stuff, you know, pray when you wake up, pray when you go to sleep, be close with your parents. Your parents are your big supporters. That's why me, bro, I don't care what people tell me, I'm doing everything for my mom, my dad. My goal is to pay their house off.
Nice.
So that's why I'm busting my ass, busting my ass, busting my ass. Yeah, there's a lot of people that, oh, Flako this, Flako that, but hey, don't stay behind, like just look for the opportunities and take off with them.
That's right. That's huge, advice there for people to understand. And man, I'm curious, like, I know Los de Cristo, they're part of Los Gemelos. So do you spend your time around Los Gemelos?
Actually, yeah, I'm pretty close to them. I used to be with Los del Cristo like 24/7,
Mhm.
and then he took a little pause on music, but he's coming back stronger than ever, and sometimes I talk to Juan through text, I'm like, hey bro, congrats on your new single, on your new music video, on your EP. And sometimes he's like, well, I'm gonna have a gig, pull up, I pull up, todo bien, thank God. But yeah, like I talk to him pretty good. Shout out to the mama as well, Vero. Shout out.
Also, I know you're in the industry a lot. So have you seen like any malas experiencias? Like, have you seen anything like, I know this industry is very, very sketchy.
Actually, I have. There's this, I'm not gonna give names,
Mhm.
but there's this kid that got discovered in my garage. Me and my brother went live on Instagram. And yeah, for some reason the big bosses joined the live, you know, and hit him up, discovered him, I guess. That's not gonna give names, no nothing, I don't want to. And yeah, he got signed. He got signed, he got signed 3 years, 6 years, whatever their contract is. And when I was starting with my artist, I reached out to him, like, hey bro, let's collab, let's do something, Because I thought he's my friend,
Mhm.
And he was like, oh, I'll let you know when I have time and stuff. Or like, like when people sign or something, they switch up and they think they're like on top of the world,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's work or something. But I did that with a couple artists, like reached out to them and they're like, oh, I'll let you know when I'm available. I'll let you know when I'm available. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna need from me later on.
Yeah.
And then those couple, I'm not gonna give names, but those couple people see what I'm doing. Yo, pa, hey, check this artist out. Hey, let me sing you some songs. Hey, help me out. Hey, I want to collab. Hey. I'm not messed up. I'm not a jerk. Yeah, for sure, bro. Send me music. And if I like it, let's do it. If not, todo bien.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the worst thing that has happened to me. No me ha pasado nada like where you say like, damn, man, this contract, they gave me a messed up contract or they gave me this. No, thank God, my contracts are pretty good.
Legit.
Pretty good.
Damn. Yeah. No, I mean,
It happens a lot. I'm pretty sure it happened to you too,
Yeah.
Or,
No, but yeah, just one piece of advice para que la gente sepa, when a situation like that comes up, how to recognize
one
it.
piece of advice I could give to all these upcoming artists, is read your contracts. From if it's 200 pages, read those 200 pages. Get your lawyer up. Lawyer up. If you don't like something, communicate with the labels or whoever you're gonna collab with or work with, whatever. You know, go back and forth. Go back and obviously respectfully with no being extra. No, go back and forth and get to an agreement, and so everything could be nice and easy and smooth.
Mhm.
Because I know a lot of artists sometimes they're like, "Oh, I'm bigger than you, so I got to get a lot more." Sometimes you have to humble yourself. When you're an upcoming artist, you have to humble yourself. You know, sometimes you got to lose to win. You know what I mean? So that's what I tell my artists. I'm like, "Hey, bro, let's just take the risk. You never know." And so far, we've been taking the risk, and look, I could probably say, not a lot of people could say that they have 3 artists signed to the same label.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot to say for you as a manager,
yeah, yeah.
And algo personal. How old were you when you went to your first evento en baile?
It's crazy because my brother used to work for a record label. I'm not gonna give names, you know. Used to work for a record label, and he will always invite me. Come, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I was too focused in soccer. You know, my first job. I played pro soccer in Mexico,
Nice.
and I'm like, nah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And big artists will come to my house too. You know, like Kiko Avalos, Hijos de Barron. Like I'll go out there and meet up with Jose Germán, Alta Consigue, like you know, like because of my brother. And I was like, nah, I'm okay. You go, you go, you go, you go. I went maybe like 2 or 3 times to an event with him. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then yeah, years passed. I stopped playing soccer. Years passed later. And I'm like, hey, I wonder, let me try this management stuff out. See, I don't know nothing, but I could ask people, do my research and everything. And yeah, that's from there. I just took off with it. I
Nice.
just took off with it. And yeah.
And I know you say you work on a day-to-day basis at Willows de Cristo. What in scenario or what's been the biggest event that you've gone along with him?
I've been to a couple. It was at I think it was Fresno, but everybody was there. I think it was a edición especial, all those like top dogs, you know. And his brother was there, so his brother invited him, and then obviously I was Willows del Cristo, so I went. I'm like, the crowd it's crazy.
Huge.
Those are like big like stadiums, you know. I'm surprised on myself when I go and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm like, there's a lot of people. They sing the songs,
Yeah.
and then in my head I'm like, I still have my artist, and I'm like, one day it's gonna be my artist, you know, and yeah, man, fingers crossed. I have a lot of faith.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I'm inspired by you. Just seeing what you're doing, bro. Like you're grinding, and just people like that is who I like to surround myself with. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
man, like, what do you see yourself in the next like 3 years? Like, who do you plan on managing, or like, what type of talents are you looking for more?
Honestly, like the next 3 years, I plan on having my own. Even before, my own label, you know, my own management agency, you know, and just help out. I like to help out a lot of people without expecting nothing in return, because I know God is gonna multiply me, you know. So just help out all the upcoming artists, everybody that I could help out. Whatever I could do. I'm like you could say like the connect or the resource or the middleman for everything. So just if they don't want to sign with me or anything, take them to labels, get them signed, and do their own thing. But the next 3 years or under, have my own label, pay my parents' house off, and retire them. That's what I see
That's
myself, and I see myself
interesting.
touring with any of all three of my artists, touring worldwide.
Nice.
So
I see that. I see that.
hopefully, man.
Well, my guy, para que la gente sepa más de ti, where can they follow you on social media?
They could find me on social media and Instagram, on TikTok, and on Facebook. Facebook, Anthony Mares. Instagram, Flako with a K, Flako dot oficial with one F. And TikTok, same thing. And yeah, those are the platforms I have.
Man, I'm pumped, bro. I'm glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. It was
Yeah.
unexpected, but
Yeah.
hey, thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
If you see me stuttering or pause or whatever,
You're good.
it's my first podcast ever. So, I'm just
So
going with the flow.
So tell me, like, I see you have a nice watch and a necklace. So are you a big fan of jewelry? Like,
Yeah, I love jewelry, man.
What's your dream jewelry piece?
My dream jewelry piece, actually, I already have it. Since I was a little kid, I've always wanted a Rolex. In elementary, I would tell my parents, Rolex, I want a Rolex, Rolex, because I've seen my godfathers and stuff. And when I signed my artists, all of my artists is, a lot of people is going to say it's a dumb move or whatever, save your money, invest, whatever. But I'm like, it's dumb to think like that. Now I know, honestly. When I got a couple, little bit of money, bought myself a Rolex. And then shout out to my jeweler, Ulises the jeweler, actually collab with them. And they actually hooked me up and sponsored me with the chain. And right now they're working on on a pendant that says Flako.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
I'm excited to see that one.
So yeah, man. So just I love jewelry, man. I love watches. And one day I'm gonna have a bunch of watches,
Yeah, whole collection.
The whole collection. Yeah.
Come on. Well, you guys heard it, my boy. We're here, my boy Flako, and I'm excited to just have him on the show. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow, because we're coming out with some heat. We have a lot of good up and coming artists. a lot of good promoters, a lot of people with a lot of potential and making big moves in this life. And so, just stay tuned, and I appreciate you guys watching. See you at the next.